Thanks for coming round. We'll make you laugh before you go. Welcome to the Mermen. Welcome to the show.
What?
Nothing, man.
Don't you want to blow the conch?
No, I'm not gonna blow it today.
I feel like, look.
I'm not in the mood.
Okay.
I don't think we should do it ever again. It's dumb. I don't know why I committed to it for this long.
All right, sounds good.
So, just kidding. April Fools! Pranked you, bro.
Sick burn.
Pranked you.
I'm going to blow it then, too.
I got you.
I'm going to blow it.
Should.
Just kidding.
Oh, got me
April
back.
Fools.
Oh, I was so excited.
Burnt!
Man. We know what we're doing around here. This is comedy.
High quality.
This is comedy.
Luis is closing the window right now. He doesn't want anyone to hear that there's conch shells being blown in here.
Tugboats.
It's going to blow his fucking his reputation.
Did you pull any pranks on anybody for April Fools?
No. I don't do that anymore.
No.
I used to do a joke about it. It's just a holiday for assholes.
You're
Wait, first of all, okay. I said this is 2 days after April Fool's, but so, you're still doing it 2 days after, dickhead. But I said, are you going to talk about April Fool's before we went on? And you go, yeah. And you started like smiling, laughing. I go, what's going on? And then you said, don't worry about it. And I doubt it's just a conch shell. And then I think it was last episode where you asked Luis about the Russian dating site.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, what's going on? Don't worry about it. I feel like there's like lots of things going on.
Nah.
Meanwhile, you haven't signed up for the fucking swim.
Yeah, Luis. I looked into it. I emailed them.
Yeah, get on that instead of putting me on Russian dating sites. That clearly you did that.
No, come on, man. We wouldn't do that.
Am I on a Russian dating site?
I don't know. Do you think you're on a Russian dating site?
I'm asking Luis.
That I know of, no, but
I feel like you said he said it to you like you've set it up.
When have I ever done something behind your back that you didn't know about and just found out about on the
Every
show?
episode, pretty much. It's either a gift or something.
Well, then you should be excited because whenever I've done something behind your back, it's been a gift. So maybe it's not so much you're on a Russian mailing site, maybe there's a gift coming from a Russian mail order site.
Yeah, you said something about a box. I remember that. You said if a box comes, open it or something. But what else am I going to do? I'm not the president. Hopefully there's not anthrax in it. I'm going to open the box.
Okay. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay. I'm leaving the country soon, so better.
You pulled one of the greatest pranks I've ever seen, and we're not allowed to talk about it.
Yeah, well, don't mention it then.
I just have to bring it up.
You don't do that. In my own due time.
It's still going on.
What, that I'm a comedian?
Yeah.
Fooled everybody. No, some people are like, never fooled me. Never thought you were funny. You don't listen to the podcast somehow.
One time, my buddy Josh lived with me in high school for a little while because his parents moved. He didn't want to move in senior year of high school, and so they were painting our house. And the room the guest bedroom he was living in, they took the handle, the doorknob off the door, so it was just the hole.
Yeah.
So I thought this would be funny because the door, we just hadn't put it back yet, but the door was painted and it was done and everything. So I took my balls and I put them through the hole where the doorknob should be, and I knocked on the door.
This sounds. I can already see tragedy happening.
Yeah. I just thought it'd be funny that he would, one, either just see my balls, or two, would come over and accidentally touch my balls. And then I heard I could hear like how quickly he got up off his bed and was lunging for the door, and I realized, oh, he's gonna try to hurt me. And I had to. It's a moment of panic where you're trying to get your balls out of there very fast, but also not get a splinter. So you got to do something fast.
Yeah, it's carefully. Like particle board. Yeah.
I barely made it out. Actually, I got him. Same dude. I got him so good one time.
With your balls?
Yeah.
I've never been a ball guy. Like, I've never been showing my balls to other dudes.
I'm very proud of my balls.
I don't have any problem with my balls. I'm just like not putting it through doorknobs, holes and stuff.
Well, I don't think I have you know,
I've seen people. Yeah, people. Maybe it was a Palmetto High School thing.
Yeah.
Because I know some guys who went to. Remember Caesar, the guy we called at the beginning?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
When I called the wrong Caesar and then the correct Caesar.
But the wrong Caesar was the Caesar I know. We talked about this,
Yeah.
right? He went to high school with you.
Yeah, Caesar O'Connor.
Yeah.
Used to drive a yellow old school Mercedes, and he'd be like, "Pimping, bro."
Yeah, him and Seth that you went to high school with.
Yeah,
They used to
they're my
love
buddies.
teabagging people.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in public. They thought it was funny.
Well,
That's a Palmetto High School thing, I think. We didn't do that at Coral Gables High School. We were very proper.
kept your balls to yourself.
Very proper over there. Yeah, and you know what? A comedian just sent me a picture of his balls the other day.
Really?
Kevin Shea. You know Kevin Shea?
I know who he is. I don't know him.
Yeah, he's a really funny guy. But he's just. I was just making fun of him in the text. We're going back and forth. Not even that hard. And then he just sent me a picture of his balls. Like, suck on
Trump
this.
card. Yeah.
Yeah. And I go, what's that? Like, I pretend like I didn't know what it was. And he goes, it's the giver of life. And I'm like, it looks like a deformed foot because it looked weird. But they were shaved. So I was like, that was the one thing I got.
Well, now you know something about your friend.
Yeah, he's keeping good care of his balls, Kevin.
Good job, Kev.
Yeah, Kevin Shea.
I've always had abnormally saggy balls. Large saggy balls.
Yeah, you'd have to get him through a door
Yeah.
thing.
So I think
I was thinking about that right away. I'm like, mine are like, a little tighter.
Yours are more.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to get them through like a door. Maybe now. I'm getting older. I don't
Surprisingly fertile too. My wife and I got pregnant pretty quickly both
know.
times.
Hey, you have kids. You're fertile.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying like some of our friends had to try for like a year before they got pregnant. My wife and I were like, we should start trying. And we're like, hey, we're pregnant.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick. So one time I was in a boat with Josh and we're out in the middle of the ocean, middle of nowhere, right? Mm-hmm. And I was wearing netted shorts and I had a hole. There was like a hole in the bottom of my shorts, I realized.
What do you mean netted? You mean like the liner in a swimsuit?
Like basketball shorts.
Oh, like that. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. So I started pulling my balls through that little hole and I pulled them out enough to where I could kind of like pull them out, And I just stopped in the middle of the ocean and he goes, what are you doing? And I go, ah. And he goes, what? And I go, I sat in gum like that. And he looks over at me and I was expecting him to go like, oh, come on, bro, gross or whatever. He looks over at me and he goes, in the middle of the ocean? And I go, yeah. And he goes, what? And I go, yeah. And he looks at him and he looks and he gets right up back. And he goes, there's hair. Ah! And the realization of it hitting his brain that it was my ball sack was the funniest thing ever. I'll never forget it. Just a 16-year-old kid like, oh, why would you do that?
What about this guy made you show your balls to him all the time?
Because he's my best friend. He was with me all the time, and that's what you do when you're best friends.
Well, glad you and I aren't best friends.
We are, Forrest.
No. This Luis is here. You can't show your balls.
I'll pull my balls out right now.
No.
A lot of camera angles on me, but
I gotta adjust the lighting and make you look good.
It's not going to make it on the Instagram.
I think just men are obsessed with balls. I remember my kids when they were young. One time, I think it was Carter. I don't remember which one it was, but they were in the bathtub and they were kind of like just realized that there was like balls in their ball sack, like in that moment, a little tiny kid, and he's just sitting there like thinking. He just looks at me and he goes, "Dad, what's in this pouch? Is it earplugs?" And I go, yeah, it's earplugs, bud. God gave us little emergency earplugs. If you ever need them, you just pull them out of there.
I wish. You know how many times I needed earplugs?
Yeah.
If they were just in my ball sack, I've been so happy.
And what?
Let's dry these off. Get them in here. Yeah, your poor wife did. Did she want, I'm sure she wanted like a girl.
No, my wife's she's an athlete. She's like.
I know your wife, but yeah. Are you talking to the crowd?
Yeah.
I forgot we're doing a podcast. You don't need to explain it to me.
Yeah. No, my wife actually wanted boys because she likes sports and she's not like into like let me braid your hair and buy you dresses.
I don't mean that though. She's still a woman though. Like I'm not saying like maybe you'd have a daughter and she was like an athletic. It wasn't like but it just seems
if we had
like
a daughter, she would be an athletic daughter.
It just seems like so many dudes, so many earplugs in your house. There's too many earplugs.
She always.
It's a good term. I'm gonna start using that.
Yeah.
Guys got big earplugs on them.
I used to have a bit about it. I don't know if you remember this. I used to have a bit where this is a true story.
This should be the bit. I'm writing it for you.
Yeah,
I'm a comedian.
Christy, or not Christy. I think it was Carter would take his balls and he would pull it up over his penis and he would go, Daddy, it's a blankie for my penis. I figured out what it is. Like,
good.
I used to have a bit
These
of
are all
that.
good ideas. No, but like the earplugs.
We
is
wanted
good.
3 boys. We wanted 3 boys. That was our plan. And after we had 2 kids, she was like, I don't want to get pregnant again. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm done with that too. Like, so
You
we
can
just-
adopt Louise.
Yeah, we would adopt. We haven't had the financial means or space in our house.
No,
to
Louise,
adopt.
right there. He's already grown. It's easy. He's got a job.
Louise, you want to come live in the shed in my backyard, Louise?
Thought you'd never ask.
Yeah, then we can do the podcast from there.
Little diversity in my family
Wait, why do I get the shed?
because we're out of space in the room.
Oh, okay.
In the house.
Shed's pretty good. I think it's like there's like video games in there.
If you don't mind pissing in the backyard, shed's the place to
I
be.
think there's a popcorn machine in there.
Yeah.
It's like
so.
it's like a
like a
clubhouse.
Yeah, it's like a little man cave.
Yeah. Shed. You could do worse than the shed. I haven't been in there in a while, but I remember it being cool.
Here's the story behind the shed. When we moved into this house that we rent, there was a shed in the backyard, but it was like a shed from a guy who lived there previously who worked on movie sets. So
Shed.
it was just like the facade of a shed. And then he like insulated it, attached it to the brick wall, and it just wasn't very properly built. Let's put it that way. So the kids had their toys out there and they would play out there sometimes. But then like the floor started rotting and it was just going to hell. It was gross out there. They didn't want to play out there anymore. So they kept asking me, Dad, will you fix it? Dad, will you? And I'm like, this thing's all rotted. I don't think I can fix a foundation, right? I go, how about this? Let me see if I can find a bigger, nicer shed. We'll rip this one out. We'll put a new one in, and then maybe we can have one big enough that we can get a foosball table or something. That's all they had to hear. 2 days later, I go out there, and a 9-year-old and an 8-year-old had ripped out the old shed, like just totally demolished it. I was like, guys, I wasn't like, I'm kind of busy this week. I didn't mean to do it right away, you know?
Yeah. Luckily, it's California, and with the exception of this year, it doesn't rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I started looking up sheds, and I'm like, oh shit, man, sheds are way more expensive than I thought. I shouldn't have got their hopes up. So I found this lady selling a gigantic barn shed on Craigslist for like $1,000, and I'm like, I'm going to lowball her. And I call her up and I give her this whole story about how I'm getting it for my kids or whatever, and she goes, you know what? All these people have been lowballing me. I'd rather give it to you for free than let them think they got one over on me. If you can get out of here by tomorrow, you can have it for free. And I'm like, oh shit,
This sounds like a riddle.
right?
Yeah.
It was a riddle. It was fucking. I almost died getting that thing out of there. I took me and Owen. Owen was maybe like 8 at the time. It was me and Owen. He likes tools and doing that kind of shit.
Took it apart.
Yeah. So I'm looking at it and I'm like, we can get this to our house in a Chevy Tahoe, sure. And I took one wall off it. It took me hours to get one wall disconnected.
Yeah.
And as soon as I took the first wall off, the whole thing fucking collapsed.
Yeah, because have you ever built a shed?
This one, after I took it down, I had to build it in my backyard.
I built one in my backyard of the old house I was, and it's very complicated. You always just think it's 4 walls, but it's like if you don't put up things in a certain order,
Yeah, they
or
don't
you're
line
down
up.
Yeah, that must have sucked.
Oh,
It sucked.
I was like holding it up, and I'm like, Owen, run!
Is it
And then
wood
as
or
soon as
metal?
No, it's wood. It's
It's wood. I've been in it. I just came. Yeah, the one I put together was metal, and even with gloves, and it was so much blood on the assembly instructions by the end, like just slicing on.
My bike shed is metal.
God. It's the worst.
my-
Somebody had offered too. That's when they were doing work in my house. The workers there, and they go, "Hey, do you want us to put that shed together?" I go,
Nah, I got it.
I go, "How much?" And I think they said like $200 or something, or $250. I was like, do it myself, save money. Must have been 40 times building it. I was like, fucking should have paid those guys $250. It would
Be done.
So worth it. Like bleeding.
You'd have their blood
I was
everywhere.
bleeding everywhere.
Well, I got a handyman. Well, first of all, I took this thing was apart now, and I'm like, how the fuck am I going to get this to my house? And the mayor of my town owns a moving company, and he was my kid's soccer coach at the time. And I call him up and I go, bro, I'm in a bind. I need help. He goes, I'll send 2 guys out to help you tomorrow. So he sends 2 moving guys out who weren't like scheduled to do anything that day. They fucking load this thing up. I got Dano Carter, Dano, Owen, and 2 movers.
How'd Dano Carter get wrapped up?
Dude, because I know Dano doesn't have a day job, and I call him whenever I need help with something. So
Is Dano's name Dano, or is it Dan?
I don't know. You want to
Or
ask him?
Danny? Huh?
You want to ask him?
We could, yeah.
All right. Let's circle back to
I
that.
never thought about it in a while. Dano Carter. Dan. Comedian. Runs a popular
Tonight,
Monday show. Are you doing a show tonight?
Yeah, I'm going to go by there and
It's
do
like
a
the 10-year anniversary
10-year
show
anniversary.
at Poncho's.
Call
you ever been
Dano
there, Louise?
Carter.
Poncho's?
No.
Oh. It's like a Mexican restaurant.
Every Monday, 10
And then
years
in
running,
the
dude.
bar there, he's done a show every Monday. This is the 10-year anniversary. I've done it.
Let's see
Wait,
what the
in Manhattan Beach?
Manhattan Beach, yeah.
I saw you there once.
Oh, yeah. So you have
That's
been.
when
That's why I thought.
Kelly broke the glass.
Kelly knows Dano. Yeah, Kelly knows Dano. Yeah. It's a cool restaurant. There's like trees inside of it.
Hey, bud.
Dano,
What's up?
you're on the Mermen podcast with Forrest, Shaw, and Dave Williamson.
Awesome. Honored to be on.
Big day. Big
Nah,
day for you.
It's not an honor. Trust me.
It,
I'm honored.
all right, here we have a trivia question for you.
Okay.
Is your legal name on your birth certificate Dan, Dano, or Daniel?
It's Daniel.
Daniel.
Ah, okay.
When did the Dano
That
start?
was a tough trivia question. I could trace it back to junior high. I could see my friends sign my yearbook.
Dano.
Dano.
Like that?
Yeah.
All right. Dave was just telling a story about how you helped him move a shed. And I don't know if you remember that. Some giant shed that he bought. Just
The
how?
video game shed?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Sure.
he
Yeah,
said your name
I
and
helped him move a smoker, too. I'm probably his weakest friend by far. I'm just the most available.
yeah. For those that don't know, Dana's not a large guy. So-
No,
He's just around at 2 o'clock on a Friday.
I'm available and I work for beer.
yeah, he just mentioned when he just said your name, and I go, "What's Dano's name?" It never occurred to me to is it Dan or Daniel? I was like, "It's not Dano." So
Well, there was a dude who picked me up in an Uber once, and he's like, "Oh, you're Dano?" And he's like, "I've been trying to get on Ponchos for years, man. You never answer my calls." And then he started doing an Elvis impression for me. He had a blank CD. He burnt like a karaoke of Elvis song into it. He started doing that.
you didn't
And
put
so
him
then
on.
I switched my Uber name to Daniel.
Tonight's the 10-year anniversary show, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. What's
This comes out 2 weeks after.
Yeah,
So,
that's okay.
Congratulations.
Still giving them some shine.
Yeah.
People go see Monday nights, 9 o'clock, Ponchos in Manhattan Beach. Give us your best, if you had to pick one, your best Ponchos story from the 10 years.
It's really tough. Did you see the oral history?
Yeah, the local newspaper did a whole timeline of
Oh
Ponchos
shit!
history.
I didn't
yeah.
see that. I want to check that out.
It was absurd, the stuff that I got published in the paper. They mentioned the girl flashing her tits on stage. They mentioned the guy passed out at the bar and pissed himself.
Yeah.
It's a classy show, guys.
Probably the drunk girl I had to kick out. And as she was flicking me off with her middle finger, she fell down the stairs. And the guy she was with threw her over his shoulder and dragged her out. And she's still flicking me off, like hanging over the guy's shoulder.
Oh, there's like 3 steps there, right?
Yeah.
Like those 3 steps.
Those 3 steps right
That's
up there,
perfect.
That's it. She was
Yeah.
making eye contact with me and didn't notice the stairs.
Yeah, because 3 steps is like she's not like
Dead.
Injured like that.
yeah.
You're like she's.
But that's a
fine.
fall. It's
Yeah,
not
no.
one step.
But it's funny. It's
If it was
hilarious.
in the main part of the restaurant, that would have been a hospital trip.
Yeah. This is funny. That's hilarious.
And then you used to tell the story about the dude who was on Tinder or something, and you said, "Come on down here." Is that?
Well,
am I right?
I've done that a couple different ways, where I would use girls' Tinder accounts and say, "Meet me at Poncho's for a drink." One guy sent me a dick pic before he showed up. That was pretty legendary.
Just to get people at your show, you would do that. You would just tell them, "Hey, come meet me at Ponchos."
My
And
favorite was when I told them all to wear all her matches. I said, "Wear a red T-shirt so I know who you are." And I started the show at 9 o'clock, and I said, "Anybody who shows up in a red T-shirt at 10 o'clock is trying to fuck this girl right here in the front." 12 dudes show up all in red T-shirts, don't know it's a comedy show, go straight to the bar to get a drink, and there's this everyone in the crowd knows what's going on, but they don't. And 2 of them became regulars, like came back to the show.
just a bunch of horny dudes like to show up at Ponchos every week.
That's fucking awesome.
Gotta get a crowd in one way or another, right?
I never knew that story. That's fucking hilarious, dude. That's marketing genius, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, fuck.
That's awesome, man. Well, congratulations, man. 10 years is a long time to run a show. Truthfully, you should be more successful by now. So congratulations, but also sorry.
It may hold me back.
Yeah. But we appreciate it. It's a great place for us to do sets.
Yeah, and I can bike there, which is nice.
You've made it,
Yeah,
buddy.
I'm looking forward to that. It'll be fun.
All right. I love you, dude.
I'll see you there.
I'll see you tonight.
Bye, Daniel.
See you guys.
Dan Carter. If you're ever in LA, Monday night, 9 p.m., Manhattan Beach, Ponchos. And the food's good. Get a little food. I always get the guac. I always sit in the corner and eat some guac and chips.
They got good IPAs now too. You used to only be able to get Lagunitas in there, and now they have Space Dust. And I'm like,
honestly though,
nice.
The lineups are good.
Oh yeah,
it's like really good comics. I mean, I've been there with like Ali Wong and
Jeff Dye. Ali Wong comes a lot.
Yeah, she's there. Like she lives near the area. I'm trying to think of else.
Drew Lynch goes there a lot. Ismo,
yeah.
Denny Jollis. He gets great comics.
Yeah, you're gonna see a good show.
Dave Williamson is there quite frequently.
Now it goes downhill.
I do good on his shows.
Yeah, I have fun there. Yeah, I haven't been there in a while. He always hits me up, like, and then I'm like out of town. But I gotta hit him up. I gotta hit him up.
Do it, bro.
I know I do an Elvis impression.
Second quarter.
Hey, do you know in Florida there's I just got a text from Mike Levine, by the way. I gotta take this jacket off. It makes noise.
Oh, here, I'll take mine off too if you wanna.
No. Every fucking episode I bring this on.
There we go.
Mike Levine just texted me.
What are you saying?
I don't know. I think he's coming to town September 22nd and.
Well, we're going to be there September 25th and 6th or something like that, right?
22nd and 23rd. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, but he's coming out here?
Yeah, like this week.
Oh.
Yeah. So, anyways, just.
All right. He's coming out here this week, but we're going there in September.
So Florida, there is a giant. It's been happening for a while. So this has been happening for some time. There's a giant blob of what they call seaweed, but it's not actually seaweed. It's algae. But heading towards Florida. Do you know about this? Have you heard about this?
I saw something, but I didn't really look into it.
Have you heard about it? Have you seen it? It's called sargassum. It's like a brown. They say brown seaweed. Everyone calls algae seaweed.
Wait, sargassum?
Sargassum.
Like a mix between sarcasm and orgasm?
The genus. There you go.
Sounds like a poorly faked orgasm, a sargasm.
Do you know what the
you're so good. I'm coming. Ugh. Sargasm.
Have you ever heard of the sargassum?
That's a good joke, Luis. That's a good joke, right?
It's the first time Luis has laughed on this podcast.
I laughed out loud.
I had to stop scrolling Twitter for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always.
Hey, give me a Dave.
Yeah.
Come on.
Are those going in?
Come on.
I don't even listen to the podcast. Did those go in or afterwards? How often do you use that? I've been watching.
Apparently, how quickly Luis can find it. I think you have your answer.
I've been watching. He has it set up. He's got like a thing that like.
We got the
DJ
voice of the
use.
Miami Heat to do all these fucking
Dave Williamson.
sargasm.
Yeah. So it's a large, loose raft of brown seaweed spanning about twice the width of the U.S. and is inching across the Caribbean. So it's probably here by now almost. But the Sargasso Sea, you've never heard of that?
Should we? Oh, it's from a sea?
No.
Called sargassum?
Sargassum is the genus of the algae. Sargassum. Do you know what genus species? That's how things are identified.
Of course I do.
Okay. So like
All right.
like Homo sapiens, you know what that is?
Como say what?
Like humans.
Oh, I thought you were speaking Spanish. I speak Spanish sometimes.
Okay. So like all oak trees are like Quercus. Querqus. That's a genus of oak trees. And then you have like Virginiana, which is Quercus virginianus. Virginia is a species.
Yeah.
However, it's a live oak. The ones you see in Florida, all those oak trees, that's Quercus virginiana.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
All right.
So sargassum is the genus for this.
All right.
Fun science, guys. And it's, you know this algae. It's the stuff that you always see it in Florida around this time of year. It's like it has the little balls on it that make it float. It's like always on the surface.
Oh,
It's brown.
yeah. It looks like little holly balls.
Yeah, and if you pick it up when you're
Sometimes
a kid,
you find balls in the middle of the ocean.
or gum, you pick it up and you shake it, remember as a kid, and like little animals would fall out of it. Shrimp, crabs, fish, things like that, because they would be like this big. Did you ever do that when you were a kid?
Yeah.
You didn't do anything fun.
Played with balls in the ocean.
anything you did only. I'd say you didn't any science stuff. So.
Nah.
So yeah, I used to take it and shake it on the thing, and then I'd find little crabs and shrimp and fish and stuff. That's where they live when they're very small to protect themselves. They'll live in there so that other fish, larger fish, and animals can't.
Don't see them.
Yeah, don't eat them. So, anyways, this one is huge. It's like I said, it's twice the width of the United States, and it's floating towards. It only is on the surface, by the way. And I guess this is the biggest one ever. Like, so
Is this going to cause a problem?
Well, it ends up on the beach and it smells really bad. And there's a certain there's some sort of gas it can emit that, like, if you were really exposed to it a lot, it might make you nauseous or something like that. But, it rots on the beach and then people get upset. Like, my beach fucked up, and they rake it. No shit, but it's fine. Well, it shouldn't be this big. Usually, it'll break off from the Sargasso Sea, and then float across all the way to the United States.
Well, what's going over on the Sargasso Sea that this big blob broke off and it's coming this way? They're not taking care of their sea over there. These Sargassic people.
Well, that's probably like algae in general. When there's an algal bloom or algae bloom, is because there's a nutrient runoff. That means something on the land usually is running into the water. Agriculture is the number one thing. So when there's high nutrients, like if it's phosphorus or something like that that's running off, it'll make these algal blooms.
These fucking Sargassic people, bro.
Do you know where Sargasso Sea is? Didn't you ever watch fucking Jacques Cousteau? And he'd be like, as I entered the Sargasso Sea,
Love
I
Jacques
noticed. That was one of his places.
Really?
Sargasso Sea.
All right.
That he would dive around and look at shit. It's in the North Atlantic. Blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry. The Sargasso Sea is in North Atlantic. Yeah. Anyways, what was I had a fucking whole reason I was bringing this up, and I forgot.
Oh, I remember when we'd go spearfishing and stuff. Sometimes my dad would throw a rope out the back of the boat, and then he'd just pull me at idle or 1 mile per hour, so that we could cover an area looking for lobster holes and grouper and whatever.
Yeah, my grandfather and his friends, that they had a ski rope.
Yeah.
And they tied several handles into it. So there'd be like 5 handles, and they were about 8 feet apart, so they wouldn't hit each other, maybe 10 feet. And they'd all just do like that.
Yeah.
And I became one of the favorite of the grandkids because I would always drive the boats. That's all. I didn't even want to go, and I just wanted to drive the boat, and I would
so then they could get in the water.
Yeah, and I towed them all around, and then they would and once they would see a fish, I would put it in idle, and I would just hover there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we do the same thing, but I was an only child, so we just had one ski rope. And they would pull us, but sometimes the clumps of seaweed would hit you, and then it would just be like showering over you, and you're trying to, it's like stuck on your,
right?
It's stuck on your snorkel, and you're trying to get it off. And then you would get, for a while, there was this outbreak of stuff called sea lice, and it lived in the seaweed, and it would get in your waistband. That's where wherever you had or if you had your mask strap, it would that's where it would kind of. So you'd get this just itchy, nasty, and your mom would have to get clear nail polish and put it on, kind of like.
The fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, that's how you would kill it.
I know what sea lice is, and by the way, it's not an outbreak, and it's not once in a while. It's every year that still happens.
Yeah. No, but I'm saying one year I remember.
Do you want to know what sea lice is?
Oh God, do I?
I don't know. It's not that. It's not as bad as you think, but it's not.
Okay.
It's a certain type of jellyfish, and it's God damn, what's the fucking word I'm looking for when they're really tiny?
The larva.
The larva, thank you.
Yeah.
There you go. You helped me with that word.
I like science.
It's the larva of a certain type of jellyfish, and when they're breeding, they let all this larva out into the water, and so there's certain types of year around certain areas in South Florida, in South Florida at least, that's what we're used to. And I think it's between Mother's Day and Father's Day. I don't know. I'll look it up right now.
Hence the larva.
And if you swim through this larva, it doesn't necessarily have to be any algae or seaweed or stuff. You just swim. I've been in clear reefs before and gotten it all over me. And if you swim through it, it fucking
It's
kills.
terrible.
Your whole body.
It itches so bad.
Yeah. So I don't know. Nail polish actually might work. You know what I used to do? I used to just go in a hot shower. I would turn it as hot as possible, like where. If you were in prison, they wanted to torture you. That's how hot they'd make the water.
Yeah.
But I would burn my skin
Yeah,
and that felt better than scratching it.
There were definitely some remedies. I don't remember them. The only one I remember, maybe I'm thinking of chiggers too. Chiggers. That you would get that in fresh water.
Why did you just say it like that?
I just wanted to make sure I enunciated that correctly.
Okay.
Yeah, you would definitely put nail polish on for that, and I'm pretty sure that's what we did. I should call my mom and ask her.
See, this is saying sea lice are a type of copepod, but from my understanding is that it is part of a yeah. So here you go. Oh, it's also this is the other name of it. I couldn't remember. Sea bather's eruption.
Oh my God,
that was another name for it. Yeah, sea bather's eruption or sea lice.
Man,
if you were swimming in the Atlantic Ocean, the Gulf of Mexico, or the Caribbean Sea, the rash could be a condition called sea lice, blah, blah, blah. And it's it's a larva from a jellyfish.
I'm
trying to find out what jellyfish, yeah.
It's quite a sea lover's eruption. I had a serious sargasm.
Yeah, there you go. You're killing it.
I sargasmed twice during that sea lover's eruption.
I think it's a type of box jelly. There's box jellies in...
Box?
The box... the box... There's
We're really dancing around all this... Seaweed sexual innuendo here.
There's a box.
Seaweed with the little balls in it.
Yeah, it was some earplugs. There's a box jelly in Australia that will fucking kill you. Like it can kill you, it kills people. But this one is the box jellies are not your friends. Sea louse. There's another thing. Yeah, I always knew to sea bather's eruption or sea lice from the jellyfish.
If Forrest was blind and you and I just left the room, Luis, how long do you think Forrest would just sit here talking about seaweed and fucking nerd science terms?
I'd change
I
the
hope
subject.
it never stops.
I'd change the subject. No, you're not paying attention.
Yeah, no.
Seaweed used to always go out. So I wonder this. I remember we used to go out deep sea fishing and you would look for big patches of seaweed for the dolphin because the bait fish would be underneath it. So that means the dolphin were there, not porpoises, like mahi, trying to eat the sea. So that's
The
where you
fish,
would,
yeah.
that's where you would look for
Dorado.
patrol by.
Dorado.
Yeah. Sí.
Dorado.
Dorado en español.
Dorado. What does dorado mean in Espanol?
Gold.
Yeah, because they have the yellow tops, maybe.
Yeah, ocean
when
gold.
they flash, they can see the gold. Yeah, it's the gold. With
So
the
I wonder if
green.
this big giant sargassic sea blob.
I knew that too.
I wonder if this is going to be like Fishing Central.
Fishing Central.
Yeah.
Are you saying? Do you think it'll be good for fishing?
Yeah, I wonder if the fishermen are going to dig
Well,
it.
yeah. You always look for floating stuff in your. I don't even fish that much, but I don't know if there was anything floating out there.
Yeah.
Was it like a log, or like some
Yeah,
seagrass
some-
or some algae, or
18th
just
century
anything.
beechwood.
You're like, there's gonna be shit under there.
Life raft.
Yeah. Because things like the shade.
Yeah.
Even fish like the shade. They want to get out of that fucking sun, bro.
Fucking Florida sun.
Yeah,
bro.
those dolphins getting sunburnt, bro. They get out, or the little bait fish are, and they
Well,
get
that-
under there like, I gotta watch out for skin cancer.
That was a really fun quarter, Forrest. Thank you for bringing your scientific knowledge to our podcast.
You said larva.
Yeah,
You brought something.
I did.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a good sidekick.
Third quarter.
Where are we at, Luis?
Minute 31.
A minute 31.
What?
The 31st minute.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that was
I
weird.
thought you were saying we were a minute and 31 seconds in. I was like, we covered a lot.
What the fuck happened?
Am I tripping? All right, so we're starting the third quarter. What's the third quarter topic? We're gonna go down.
Oh yeah, this Florida Fight Club thing. That was the one thing. I wanted to bring up.
Oh man,
This is
shit's off the rails down there.
Spring break has been going on for. It's still going on.
Yeah.
So we're at the end of it now, but there's still people in spring.
We did a
break.
little bit of spring break talk last episode, but spring break really does it ever end?
Now, not too long ago, there was a lot of violence in South Beach. Guy was shot. Did you see that?
Yeah, it was gruesome.
There's a couple people shot.
And there's
But
pretty clear video of it,
There's
too.
a specific one in Ocean Drive where a guy was like, I mean, for all better terms, executed, I would say, in front of a huge crowd of people. And that was fucked. Yeah, I saw the video. I think Billy Corbin put it up there. We should have Billy on the show one day. Yeah.
Talk about this stuff. He'll have a lot to say.
Yeah, Billy Corbin.
We should have Billy Corbin on and just like talk about something so lighthearted.
I was thinking about that because if you don't know who Billy Corbin is, by the way, he's a documentarian and he's
Big comedy supporter.
him and Alfred Spellman. They have this company Raconteur, and they make all these documentaries.
The U, Cocaine Cowboys.
The U2, Cocaine Cowboys 1 and 2. They did Broke, which was a great documentary. They did one called Dogfight, DAWG. It was like the beginning of the Backyard Brawls with Kimbo Slice and Dada, what's his name? Dada 2000.
Oh, yeah, that
like,
guy.
from when they came up and stuff.
Kimbo Slice went to my high school.
But they also did one on the steroid, the second wave of steroid like abuse in MLB with A-Rod. and stuff. It was such a good documentary. God, I can't remember the name of it, and we had him on the other
It's called
podcast.
Juiced.
Juice, there you go.
Was it really? I just
I think it might have been Juice. No, that's the name of Jose Canseco's book.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah,
if you
yeah.
look at Billy Corbin documentary, and what's great is they had all the reenactments done by children. So A-Rod was just a kid. He's like, "Hi, I want steroid." And it was like, it's very funny the way they did it. Anyways, he's like he's a lover of South Florida because he always pushes like South Florida. I think him and Luther Campbell were instrumental in getting the only Waffle House open in Dade County. And they got like a waffle. Anyways, he's if you ever want to learn anything about South Florida, you watch any of those documentaries, and he's a very good documentarian and very well received. But anyways, he was a comedy support. Like he would come out to our shows all the time. He'd come out to the Fort Lauderdale Improv. I feel like more than the Miami Improv. But he would always be there. Like he'd be very supportive of comedy. Really like comedy. I'd occasionally see him at the airport and stuff. So but I thought about this the other day because his account is always like, because Miami is his hashtag.
Yeah.
And it's always like terrible negative things. And I'm like, does Billy Corben ever, like, he goes to comedy shows, so I guess he likes that. But I mean, I wonder if he's just like, oh man, life's fucking.
I think he's just gone. He's gone so far down this path of trying to call out corruption and trying to rectify things that are not right in Miami that it has now become a majority of his social media anyways.
Yeah.
So
but
it does.
He's funny we had him on the ID Cap podcast. Yeah. It was like our second episode.
It's a delight to hang out with for sure.
And but yeah, man, it's a lot of weight.
So we should just have him on and just only bring up positive stuff.
Yeah, we only
and then if he starts talking about like politicians or some negative, we're just like, oh man, you know what's awesome?
Yeah.
Chicky Kitchen.
Chicken Kitchen?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I work there. Yeah, but we'll be like, we only want to hear stories about like.
But don't tell him. Just see how
a kitten and a dog getting along.
Yeah, just see how long we can steer him into positive.
That means we have
stuff.
to do research though.
I know. We gotta really we gotta be prepared.
I worked at Chicken Kitchen for like 7 months.
Do you know the recipe and how to make the mustard curry sauce?
I did. I didn't write it down.
Fuck, Forrest, what an opportunity. You were behind the scenes.
Yeah, I made a lot of mustard curry sauce.
Man, do you want to know
And I made a lot of marinade for the chickens, and like I did a lot of stuff. I used to bring home, like, if you would have known me then, you would have gotten free Chicken Kitchen. I would bring home chickens. I would bring home.
Wait, you'd bring home chickens?
Well, the cooked chickens.
Oh, okay.
Because at the end of the night, there would probably inevitably be 5 to 8 chickens on the grill that just weren't. They try to time it out, but always you're like, fuck.
You were friends with Forrest. There was some grilled whole chickens in the fridge at all times. Shit was a party.
I was giving it away, dude. And then you could bring home some sauces, and the salsa there is really good too.
So, Chicken Kitchen, for people that don't know, there was the original location in South Miami, and I think it was a bunch of.
That's where I worked.
Oh, the original one?
Yeah.
Damn, you're like an OG, bro.
Well, here's the thing: is the people that started it. There's a married couple, and I think they got divorced, but they started Chicken Kitchen, and they branched out. And if I had to guess,
it was like Haitian or Jamaican based or something like that. There was like
the guy I think was French, the guy that owned it.
Well, all the guys that worked in there were
everyone
like,
I worked with was Haitian.
Yeah,
but they didn't own it.
Okay.
That was the thing too. Is they're like, oh, white boy's gonna take the chicken. And they're like, we're Haitian. We're going back. We need these chickens.
Well, I remember that original location was all Haitian
guys
dudes
divvying up the chickens at the end of the night. Yeah,
and they got a giant grill, and there's not a centimeter on that grill that isn't covered by a chicken, right?
Yeah. So anyway, but it's just so people know, like, I think how many would you guess are in South Florida Chicken Kitchens
now?
Yeah,
100. They're
100?
everywhere.
I don't think there's 100, but there's probably 40 across South Florida.
It went from a mom and pop, authentic, awesome place to a full blown absolute chain.
And I believe that one in South Miami is still not franchised. Like, that was the original, and they just kept it like that. Like right next to Gardner's Market.
Yep.
Right? Yeah, that's where I worked. I come over after school. After school, I get in there and I put on an apron. And I'm like, fuck this, God. Because I worked at Gardner's Market and Chicken Kitchen. That's where I worked. Yeah.
Do you know how rich we'd be if you had stole that mustard curry sauce recipe?
Yeah. I don't remember. I remember making it. I couldn't tell you how to make it at all. It's so long ago.
So good.
Yeah.
So you get yellow rice, and then they call it a chop. They take the chicken off the grill, they peel the skin off it, they throw the skin away, and then they gawk with like a meat cleaver, and they chop it into perfect cubes. Mm-hmm. My buddy Scott Schultz, one time we got it after school, and we went home. We couldn't wait, right? And he's sitting up. He had like this, like,
and you get the mustard curry sauce.
Oh, you just drown it in mustard curry sauce. Yeah. Drown it. So my buddy Scott Schultz, he's eating Chicken Kitchen, and he's sitting over at the table, and I'm sitting on his couch after school. I'm watching TV. I was watching Daniel Tosh's show Tens that he used to have on Whammy. Yeah. I'm sitting there.
It's gonna gloss over what Tens was.
Yeah. Well, we can circle back. I'm like, Scott, check this chick out, dude. She's smoking hot, whatever. And I just hear Scott like, and I'm like, yeah, seriously, dude, how hot is she? I'm fucking eating, and then I hear like a chair shimmy or whatever, and I'm like, what? And I look over. He's choking. He's got snot coming out of his nose. He's just like, he was like violently choking because he's kind of that dude. Scott's.
You're like, one more bite. Let me come over.
Yeah.
It's curry sauce, so good.
I walked over and I was just like, I've saved people multiple times, and for some reason, I have this like calm that rushes over me in those situations. I wouldn't have guessed that, but I go, all right, it's gonna be all right. I just turn him around, put my arms around him, and I just went.
Did you do it properly, or you're just guessing?
No idea.
You have to put You put the knuckle of your thumb
In the sternum?
into the belly button there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I probably knew how to do it because I think they teach you that shit in high school and whatever.
Yeah.
So-
Also, if somebody's drowning, that's the first thing they tell you how to do is Heimlich to get water out of the.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so on the third one.
By the way, everybody, look this up. I haven't done any first aid classes in years.
Don't get
but
your
I'm-
health information from us.
Look this up or take a class with your local Red Cross.
I'll never forget it though. On the third one, this chunk of chicken shot. I'm not fucking around. It must have shot 10 feet across the room. It projectiled out. And then he looked at me and was like, "Oh, it's choking." And I go, "Yeah, I know."
Yeah. What do you think? I was just.
Like, that's why I did that. He's like, "Oh my God."
Yeah, I guess you didn't know what to say after that.
Yeah, he's like,
he was
like,
anyways, the sauce is good, huh?
he was in shock. I'm like, does that mean you're gonna finish yours, or could I?
Yeah, did just chicken go in there? Yeah, man, that was a good job. I think I was getting paid. I think minimum wage at the time was probably $5 something an hour. So you would work. It was hard work, dude. And at the end of the week, I remember after taxes, my paycheck would be like $145. You're like, what the fuck is? And same thing at Gardner's.
Think about all that chicken you got.
I was a bag boy at Gardner's, and there was and I worked. Gardner's Market was right next to a chicken kitchen. This is where I worked, and this is my work block. That job I got fired from on purpose. I didn't want it anymore, and I didn't know you could just quit. So I just started doing things to get fired, and I was like, "Thank God!" And they're like, "The guy's like, why didn't you just quit?" I'm like, "Didn't know it was an option. Thought you had to get fired."
My mama didn't raise no
I
quitter.
was putting like wrong prices on shit. I would just go in the alley and like turn the hose on and just squirt it into a fucking thing for now. But there was a really attractive cashier there of the same age. I can't remember her name and don't know where she's at now. But the other bag boy that I worked there, a lot of chefs there, was Maceo Morris. He was Mercury Morris's son.
Oh, God.
Mercury Morris was a Miami
72
Dolphins running
Dolphins,
back, 72
yeah.
Dolphins. And he was a great running back, but he went to prison for cocaine trafficking or something like that.
Mercury Morris?
Yeah. You don't know this story? Yeah. He went to,
bought-
can you
he bought
do
cars
this?
from us.
I know you're on Tinder over there. Can you look at Mercury Morris prison? I'm almost
I
positive.
mean, I know all of the 72 Dolphins probably did cocaine.
When I worked at Gardner's with his son, Maceo Morris, I believe his dad was in prison for cocaine trafficking. Yeah. Do you see that? Is it on there? Okay.
I think he would have been pretty elderly. Not elderly, but he would have been.
1982, Morris was convicted of felony drug trafficking charges. After 3.5 years in prison, he was released following a plea agreement in which he pleaded no contest to cocaine conspiracy charges.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then he got really vocal about anyone ever beating their record.
I don't know how you don't remember this because the jokes were like, yeah, how does Mercury Morris run a touchdown? Like the white lines on the, and he was like snorting the white lines
Yeah,
on
I
the
guess he
fucking
did.
on the
He
football
bought, he
field.
bought cars from us. He bought cars from us.
For that coke money, son.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, you guys. Anyways, me and Maceo were both wanted to ask this girl out, and she went on.
And she was like, "Yo, my dad's not home
She
for 3 years."
She both went on dates with us. I remember I took her to the new Chinatown restaurant. Remember that place?
Where's that?
It's right on US 1 in South Miami. New Chinatown, it's called. It's still there. It's still there.
Oh, it's in the same little shopping center as
Yeah. It's right on US 1. Doesn't matter. And so I think my paycheck when I was bagging groceries was like $120 after taxes. Maybe it was $110. I know this was a while ago. It's still not a lot of money then. Trust me.
You were like, "Yo,"
And I
buy
took
some
this
chunk-
girl out to
chunk-
New
chunk-
Chinatown
chunk
restaurant.
chicken.
Yeah, and we had a dinner, and I think the dinner was like $70. It was a lot of. Maybe it was like 60, whatever it was. It was like I was like, oh, that was my first lesson of life and dating and
Women
just-
not being cheap.
I was just gonna be like, this sucks dating, whatever. She kissed me. We made out.
Noise.
Yeah, take that, Maceo Morris.
Give her a
in your
sarcasm.
face. Dad might have been a running back. Oh, Maceo Morris is still alive. I'm not talking shit about him. Like he's dead, but anyways.
So there was this
Shut
other
up.
place called.
Let's look it up.
There was this other place called Cluckers. Did you ever go there,
Dude, I'm a fucking chicken kitchen guy. Kidding me?
bro? Cluckers changed my life. Cluckers was. It was in that same strip mall where Publix and Specs,
Yeah.
like what was it, 120th and US 1, like where the street to go down to Palmetto High School was. It was right in there. So we used to go
Specs.
there. We used to go there during lunch break for high
This
school.
might be Maceo Morris. Does that guy look like
find
he's
him?
as old as me?
Let me see.
He's in Legoland.
This guy looks.
I'm gonna follow him. And see if it's him. Be like,
He
yeah.
could be your age, but he's held up better than you.
Yeah. Well, kind of give it back.
Oh, he ended up marrying a very nice looking lady.
Yeah, that was the cashier.
No.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh.
I don't even know if this is him. I'm gonna follow him on Instagram. Be like, yo, are you Maceo Morris? Remember we used to bag groceries? He's got 8 followers. Follow. There we go. All right. Let's see if it is. I'll get back to you guys.
Yeah. Please stay tuned for the exciting conclusion.
I'm sorry, I
the Forrest
interrupted
and
your Clucker story.
Forrest and Maceo's saga.
Cluckers. By the way, we've done a lot of South Florida stuff today. We did not give the blogger a shout out.
Oh shit! Yeah, we need to do that.
Should we do it? Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Fred?
What? Luis has something to say.
Oh no, I just said, oh yeah.
Oh, it's very.
Fred Smith.
Sounds like a fake name, by the way. Fred Smith.
Now, Fred Smith.
Fred Smith is when you're like, they're like, we need a name, and you're like, Fred Smith.
It's a generic name. I get it.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Shout out, Fred.
Yeah. Fred Smith.
Same initials as mine. Cool guy.
Very talented athlete, by the way. He was a little bit older than me. I was a sophomore on the football team, and he was a star linebacker.
Oh, you know Fred Smith?
Yeah.
Okay.
He was the first dude I ever physically see get a concussion. Like, I'll never forget. After the game, he's in the shower showering, and everyone was like, "Hey, Fred, you okay?" And he just looked over at us and went, "Tuesday."
What were you playing, football?
Yeah. He was a hard hitter. And we were like, "Oh, we don't think Fred's okay." Like, you know.
Well, he will be on Tuesday. He said, "Give me till Tuesday." It's Thursday now. I'll be fine by Tuesday. Yeah.
Fred was a monster on the football field, but the sweetest dude.
By the way, Louise, hopefully we're gonna try and we're gonna make this whole trip in Florida, and hopefully Louise is there. When we're in Miami, will you be surprised if we meet someone that doesn't know Dave, or Dave doesn't know? Dave doesn't know. Yeah.
Not at all.
Not
one bit.
Yeah. No, you will be surprised. Ask that question wrong. You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. I know everybody.
Dave knows everybody. Yeah. Cluckers. All right. Fred Smith.
So, anyways, he went to University of Florida to play baseball. And
Go Gator.
Yeah, go Gator. And now at this point in his life, he's become an author. He's written a book, and he very regularly puts out blogs about his life growing up in Miami. So he's done a lot of really deep dives on different...
What's the book about?
I think it was a fictional. Let's look it up. I didn't prepare for this at all, but let's give him a proper...
Go Gator. Do you guys know Go Gator?
I want to say the book might have been about Hurricane Andrew, actually.
Go Gator.
So his blog is theonlyfredsmith.com.
This is my Al Jackson reminded me of this, and I forgot about it.
What's that?
Go Gator.
Oh, that's the best.
Do you know that? Louise?
No. Didn't we talk about that on this?
Never. We've never brought up Go Gator. It's a woman, Corrine Brown. I think she's
Okay.
U.S. House of Representatives.
He's got a book called The Coolest Labels, and it is a novel that takes place during Hurricane Andrew, basically. And then he's got another book called The Closet, which is a bunch of short stories, I believe.
Coming out. He's LGBTQ.
No, I don't know about that. Okay. He's got another book called Invisible Innocence, My Story as a Homeless Youth, which is...
He was homeless?
No, he helped write somebody else's story.
Oh, I was like, geez, fucking guy's out of life.
Yeah. So those are his books. And then he writes many blog posts, usually celebrating Miami stuff. So anyways, he wrote a blog called 5 Miami Social Feeds You Should Follow Right Now.
Yep.
And he sent me a message. He said, "Dave, what's up, brother? I'm going to mention the Mermen in a blog post I'm publishing called 5 Miami Social Feeds You Should Follow Right Now. I've really enjoyed your guys' stuff and want to share it with my humble audience, many of which are Miami natives. Here's the link if you want to share. Keep the good stuff coming, my friend."
We got to share the link.
Yeah. Should I read it? Should I read what he wrote about us? It's not long.
Yeah, read it.
All right.
That's what we do here.
Here, let's give some. Here's the other ones he...
Save it for another podcast.
All right. The Black Sheep Perspective is another one. The Ghosts of the Orange Bowl. Ooh, I got to check that out.
Are you promoting the other ones on here?
Yeah, the Miami Stadium. I just want people to know what company we're among. Yeah. The Miami Creation Myth is another one. And then the headliner, the Mermen.
I think we're at the bottom.
Comedians Dave Williamson and Forrest Shaw met on stand-up circuit in Miami. Both are now making their way up the pro ranks, performing on the national level with comic heavyweights such as Burt Kreischer, Jim Jeffries, Conan O'Brien, and others. As podcast hosts...
Conan O'Brien. That was me. I had 2 of those.
That was you. I went with you, though. I was support staff.
That's right. You were there.
As podcast hosts, they volley banter like improv jazz musicians. Seemingly random from moment to moment, but compelling, engaging, and funny over the long haul.
Yeah,
Consider
slow burn.
this description on Apple's podcast page for their February 23rd episode.
Did Louise write this?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Here we go.
Here's what Louise wrote about her.
Let's see how
I never
Louis
read
says as a
these.
copywriter. Dead dogs and mail order brides. The guys talk about dogs dying at the most inconvenient times. Then take a dive into getting Forrest a mail order bride. Timely. And then get a story sent in the voicemail box about a man getting bukkakied by a dolphin.
Yeah, you should have led with that, Bukkake dolphin. That, just in the future, don't mention dead dogs. Like, it's not going to get a lot of listeners. And
That's where we draw the line.
that's where I want to listen to it. Like, anytime you see that dog dies on TV or movies, they're like, nah.
Here's how he wraps it up.
Yeah.
My word processing program underlined bukkakied in squiggly red and offered no suggestions when I right-clicked it. Full disclosure, I know what it means. And if you do too, then meet your new favorite podcast. And if you've already taught Microsoft Word what bukkakied means, then you'll probably be wearing Mervert merch at kids' birthdays parties in no time.
I like that he finished the article saying Bukkake 3 times.
Yeah.
Bukkake. If you say Bukkake 3 times in the mirror, do you know what happens? Your mirror gets bukkakied. That's gross. Yeah. What is that, gum on my mirror?
So,
Is that silly string?
anyways, these guys got shot in South Beach.
Check out the video. It's disturbing.
It's very disturbing.
Don't check
just,
it out.
Just be careful. Watch your back.
I wouldn't watch it.
We could do a future quarter on. We're probably wrapping up soon, right?
Yeah, I was going to talk about Florida Fight Club. There's just fucking kids fighting. It's not a big deal. It's like you're getting old. I was I wouldn't do that.
We can circle back to
I
all
think
this.
for spring break, there's just kids fighting on beaches. And like, I think it went viral because there's 2 women in bikinis fighting and there's a whole circle of people around them. And then now they're just like, yeah, we're just having Fight Club, which it's not really Fight Club because the first rule of Fight Club is there is no Fight Club.
Yeah.
So you guys suck. You know what you're doing.
The true South Florida Fight Club, you got someone like Kimbo Slice in there, and you do not want any part of it.
Well, R.I.P.
Fourth quarter.
We got voicemails. We've been putting them off.
Yeah, you guys ready to go?
We're ready, dude.
Yeah, we could dip into some voicemails.
Yeah, please.
Okay.
Just kidding.
Uncalled for?
But I will. Let's write this down. I am circling back to Cluckers at some point.
Oh yeah, please write down
future
Cluckers.
reference.
someone out
deserve
there's like,
Cluckers.
what's the Clucker story? What a teaser.
Yeah. This was just awesome, is all.
All right, we got a long one to begin with.
Using a plastic bottle, not any mermaids.
Hey, could we like somehow like put a recording on there that goes, please keep your voicemail to a minute, and then after a minute it just cuts them off. Boop.
Is there a message on there?
Yeah, the one you guys recorded live on the podcast.
Oh yeah, we did record that. That's on us, Dave.
Yeah, here we go.
Let's hear it.
Hey, what's up, guys? First time, long time? Is that what I'm supposed to say? It's been a long time since I called in Neil Rogers, so I forget how to do
South
this
Florida
stuff,
reference.
and you're not on the radio anyway. So, what's up from Miami traffic, guys? Yeah, fun. They built all this stuff, and then they figured out that they needed roads.
Yeah. Killing it.
That's why people drive their houses.
What?
$100,000 car. Well,
You guys really work.
Oh, the cars are
$3,500
expensive.
car, you'd
I see you.
want an espresso maker too.
What was his name?
I don't know.
Didn't say.
No one leaves their name. It's first time, long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So hockey. You guys were talking about hockey as the funkiest sport, and I
Here
will
we go.
definitely agree. Grew up south of you guys, and me and the boys used to play hockey in any parking lot we possibly could. And then we got kicked out of most of them, but Tropical Park, you should have been out there.
Should
You guys
have.
have been awesome on skates. We would have put you
Must
in.
know this guy. It's too many references.
I don't know. There were no positions. We were just skating around, but having a great time, taking over parking lots everywhere.
All right.
And
Is there a
tennis
question
courts
here?
and, of course, getting run out by.
Do we request
security.
questions on
So-
this? Or just people can just call up like therapy?
Yeah.
It's
A lot of rambling we'd be getting. Yeah.
First of all, yeah, there's a lot of traffic. This is my thing with traffic. There's only traffic in cities that are good.
Yeah.
Like when everyone was like, I'm not going to go to that city, too much traffic. Well, then stay in your boring ass city with no traffic. That's the thing. So I'm not saying it to this guy. I'm just saying as a general traffic thing. I was thinking about it on the way over because there's traffic and I was like,
Man, people have no concept of. I was doing
yeah,
shows.
but there should be. This is my thing. I was thinking I literally was thinking on this on the way over because I was in traffic, and I said, yeah, because people want to be in LA.
Yeah.
But it's if you thought of cities as like clubs or bars, there should be like a fire marshal that's like, sorry, no more cars allowed in this city, or no more people. There's like a cap, you know?
Yeah, I like that.
So then you got to go to like a shittier bar. You're like,
You
got to go to fucking.
You got to wait for someone to move out of that city to.
Yeah, we got to go to the fucking. We got to go to the fucking Fargo fucking fiddle.
Yeah, I don't know. That might be anti-democratic, but I like where your head is with this.
It's Republican, you mean?
No, it's just like you can't
Democratic. You mean?
Yeah, you can't like.
Or anti-democratic is Republican. Oh, you're just not even talking about parties.
Anti-democracy.
Oh, democracy.
I mean. Yeah.
That's what our country's founded.
Yeah, because you can't tell people where they're alled to live and not live.
I know. I was just thinking of it as a joke.
But
yeah,
no, I like it. I'm on board with it. Yeah.
Does this guy still going on?
Oh yeah,
That's figured we'd ramble on too. You know.
and keeps on rambling.
All
Wait,
right,
how
go,
long
yeah.
is it?
It's about 1 minute left.
Jesus. Is it still hockey related?
All right, let's see if he gets anywhere with it.
We'll give him 10 more seconds.
Oh, also,
No.
Super Bowl story. Yeah, 1989.
No.
That would be Joe Montana, not the actor.
Montana.
The other guy.
Yeah, he's doing the joke.
Montana.
Football.
You know,
That was
remember
Niners,
that?
Bengals.
You can keep it playing. You can keep it playing. Yeah, remember that. You can keep it playing so we can get by it. I'll just talk over it. You remember that Chris Farley sketch on SNL when he's like, "Remember that one time?"
Yeah. That was
That's
awesome.
This is what our some of these voicemails are. Yeah, remember that one time you were talking about hockey? Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
awesome.
they got to.
Wait, you guys remember talking about hockey? I'm a fucking idiot.
Yeah. Well, they got to practice. It's their first time. They're
I know, but
nervous.
come with a question.
Yeah.
We got answers. They might not be the right answer, but we got them. Dave can teach you how to do Heimlich. for instance.
Larva.
All right.
Good.
At 48-second drive, like
Oh, wait.
to John Taylor, and it was a hooray. So worst halftime shows ever. I win.
No.
Look up that Super Bowl
let's pause it
halftime
again.
show.
All right. He's done.
But-
He's done. Call
Well,
back again.
I want to hear what halftime
yeah.
show is worse than the Who.
Now, because here's okay, we're gonna let this go through. We're almost at the end, but come with a question. Keep it under a minute because
It doesn't have to be a question, but it could be something interesting. Like,
this is like he's answering this like we asked the question. Hey, call in with your worst halftime. Join the conversation. No, we want
man.
questions.
This is the way it works. Is that people listen
There's
and
good
then they
cop,
go,
bad cop here.
yeah, people listen and then they go, oh man, that relates to me because I remember I had a similar feeling, and now we've given them an opportunity to voice their similar feeling. We just need to train them to be good when they call up and be like, hey man, don't spend time with the.
They're not climbing.
Or how about
maybe
this?
you forgot the article you just read. We're climbing the professional ranks of comedy.
Luis,
okay?
feel free to chop out like the first 20 seconds of these and just like if he doesn't say like his name or we don't even know he's in Miami traffic, like just come in where he goes, you guys were talking about hockey.
Yeah.
That is the funkiest sport. Like
That's not. By the way, thanks for calling in, guys.
wait, all right. So I want to hear what the halftime show was though. Now he's got me.
I do appreciate people calling in, but gotta step it up, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Luis.
I'll tell you what.
What?
I was in the Guinness Book of World Records
Longest phone call.
for it. So, look it up. Figure out what it was.
We don't know your name.
And,
We don't know anything about you.
enjoying the podcast, guys.
Well, what was the halftime
And all
show?
that.
God damn it. All right.
Wait.
I take it back. Fuck this guy.
We have to look him up in the Guinness Book of World Records. So
We're just going to scroll through the whole record book.
Is it
Like,
sports? Yeah. Okay, we got to cross-reference Miami. People
Yeah.
that listen to Neil Rogers
Yeah.
and like hockey.
and he
Guinness
set
Book
a
of World
record
Records.
at the Super Bowl.
Oh, wait, he set a record at the Super Bowl?
I don't know. If he was talking about the
hard.
Super Bowl 1 second and then just said,
It was Maceo Morris.
It's hard to follow.
Okay.
But no, I looked up the halftime show for that year,
Yeah.
and it says Super Bowl 1989 at the Joe Robbie Stadium in Miami, Florida. It was entitled Bebop Bamboozled in 3D. It featured a 1950s theme, an Elvis impersonator, 3D effects, and a magic trick.
that sounds terrible.
Oh, that's when they didn't have.
That
like,
might have been worse to do.
They didn't have celebrities
Like
back then.
an Elvis impersonator was like the highlight of the whole
Yeah, they didn't
thing,
have
so-
celebrities back then. They just had shows. They're like, this will bebop bamboozle.
Bebop.
All right, next one. How long is this next one?
We got Naughty Mermaid calling back with a 43-second.
Okay,
All right, we can
43
handle
seconds. All
that.
right, I have a plastic bottle. Not even remember. How do you feel about that? I fucking hate the planet.
Hello, it's the Naughty Mermaid. I just wanted to say that this past week's episode was fantastic.
All right.
Al Jackson is hilarious.
Al Jackson
I have
fan.
been following you guys and the gaggle of comedians for years, so I look forward to more guests been hearing more fish
Yeah.
stories and tall tales from the road adventures you guys have had.
We had Dan O'Carter.
Speaking
on
of
today.
road adventures, I'll be taking my Summerbird trip, and it coincides with your dates in Philadelphia. So I will see you there, Forrest.
All right,
As
Naughty
always,
Mermaid.
Take care, sleep well, and dream naughty.
Cool.
See, that's how you do it. You have
July 9th,
a
everybody.
persona. You come see us, buy a ticket to see us, and you have
Yeah.
a catchphrase to get you out in under a minute. Naughty Mermaid's got to figure it out.
July 9th, Philadelphia. I'll
Full
see
of
the Naughty Mermaid.
compliments.
We'll be getting a picture together for sure.
That's it.
A little bit, well, if she wants one. I want one. I want one with the Naughty Mermaid.
Yeah.
What do you think the Naughty Mermaid looks like?
I think she came to my show in Tampa. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, yeah, you said that. Yeah. Okay, well.
Pretty sure that's her.
We'll find out. We'll find out. Maybe
can
she'll
tell you.
have a tail on at the show. That'll be a big giveaway.
God, what if that's what this turns into? We just have fans showing up to shows and tails.
I'm
We
cool
got,
with it.
we got to wheel fans in.
We got to get those tails. All right.
Do we want a minute-long one from Richard?
It's a minute?
Yeah.
Yeah. Send us money for the tails. We got to let fuck it. We got Richard.
owe 'em.
Yeah, if you send us money, have at it.
Sound off.
Yeah.
Hi guys, Rich from Australia. Tuesday night and I'm drunk.
Yeah.
Surprise.
I'm Brand.
I
I'm
just
Brand.
listened to the Oscars and shit podcast today. Oscars and March Madness. Good as always.
Oh, he's
Love
doing his
your
own
work.
podcast there. Yeah.
The only thing I'm concerned about, man, is you guys give a homeless dude that lived in Forrest House 15 minutes and I get one. Lordy. Maybe
Talking
I'll
about
ring
Al
back
Jackson.
3 or 4 times.
Oh.
Kyle, I'm sorry, man. I won't make it to the US this year. Now, so over our podcast's going to have to hold for 12 months. But we'll get there, man.
Yeah, he's
You
sending
and me,
messages to
all
the
you
other guy,
QC
Tyler.
guys.
Yeah.
Mermen, love the jackets. Gonna buy one, Dave. I'll wear it
Mm.
and get pics at Bird Show in Adelaide.
Oh, yeah.
And finally, Dave, you've got my address. You've looked me up.
He
Guess
doesn't have the
what I
rub.
don't have? Rubs. Why do you make me sad?
He doesn't have the rub yet?
Why do you make me cry? And you want a question? Knock, knock. Who's there, motherfuckers? Bye.
Wait, he doesn't have his rub yet, Dave?
Wait, I got a message from him today, actually.
You got the rub?
I woke up this morning.
Richard sent, you got
let
the
me
rub?
find it. Wait a
Did it
minute.
happen?
Hold
By the
on.
way, we're going to try and go to Australia at some point, too.
You know what? I'm in, dude. Let's plan the trip.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But I'm thinking it would be this time next year.
Okay.
You know why?
Right.
Because there's festivals this time of year. It'd be a little bit before this.
Yeah.
There's the Perth Comedy Festival. There's the Adelaide Fringe, which is a great festival in Australia. And then right after that, there's other places like in Sydney and Melbourne. We could make a trip out of it. We can make it happen.
All right.
And so I'll start talking to my peeps down there. Like we're gonna do a tour, some sort of tour in Australia, because we can make it happen. We might not get rich off of it. We might even lose some money, but we'll get to Australia.
I don't like the sound of that.
Well, I mean, like you're gonna get a trip to Australia and enjoy stuff, and maybe you come home and
Can
you're
we
like,
at least
you
break
broke
even?
Yeah,
Yeah.
break even is what I'd say, because the flight's expensive, but
All
once
right,
you get there, still expensive.
I woke
it's
up
not
this
like, it's not like when you go to you go to Thailand, get there, it's super cheap. You're like, you get to Australia, still costs me. Actually, no, right now the dollar, I think the Australian dollar's tanking, so go over there.
Ooh, let's go.
Against ours, I think it's like 70 cents on the dollar. So
I woke up this morning and the first thing that I saw was I checked my phone. I had an email that said, "Hey mate, the rubs turned up today. Thanks heaps. Can't wait to use them.
Heaps.
Cheers,
Thanks,
Richard."
heaps.
I love heaps. Heaps is a good word.
You're welcome, Richard. Told you I was on it. Just takes a little time.
How
all right?
long did it take Richard to get his rubs?
Surprisingly, once I put them in the mail, they just got there pretty quick.
Yeah, see how that works.
I mailed them months ago.
All right, we got more.
Yeah, so we actually had 2 follow-ups from Richard. So there was 1 2 minutes right after that last one. Quick one. And this one's for me. This one's for me, which is why.
Oh, it's for Luis. Oh, he's giving you a shout out. Yeah.
Hey guys, Richard from Australia again. Just a quick one. Luis, love your work.
He doesn't do shit. He sits over there and scrolls.
Yeah, he doesn't even do the sound effects.
Yeah,
anymore.
it is like no. Yeah, Luis. You give yourself a shout out there.
Yeah.
Put it on.
Luis Castillo.
Luis Castillo.
Oh yeah,
Luis Castillo.
Lewis. Should use that every. Come on, how are we not exploiting that awesome
Yeah,
sound?
I've been watching Heat games. I'm like, how? We're in Michael
Yeah.
Biamonte.
It's Michael Biamonte, the voice of the Miami Heat.
Yeah,
And
we
we
got
have
it.
all the fucking
Season's
credentials,
almost over.
all the assets.
Yeah.
Luis just doesn't use them.
Yeah.
Sorry again. All right.
Hey guys,
Oh my
Rich
God.
from Australia.
Wait, I
Just
forgot.
a real quick one today.
I want to let all your listeners know they're real. Dave's rubs are real. Just picked him up from the airport.
Oh, this is an update.
Right now. Thank you, Dave.
Rub date. A rub update.
Wait, he's got to pick it up from the air. He's got to drive to the airport to get his mail.
Yeah, I think so.
Jeez, dude, this guy lives in the middle of nowhere. I kind of want to go to his house.
I don't think you'll ever return.
This would be a great Netflix documentary about how these two comedians disappeared, and then they play all this footage of us talking to this dude, and then they were like, they went to go visit him.
They didn't interview
never
Louise.
seen him again.
Louise was like, I was supposed to go on an Australia trip, but then they didn't take me because they're fucking cheap fucks. And then, you know.
All right, we got 2 more. There's one. This one actually has a question. So,
all right.
There we go.
Algae.
See if it's a good question.
Hey, Forrest. Hey, Dave. It's your number one Mervert here, Adam South, calling in again.
Oh, yeah.
I was thrilled that I made the podcast
Mosquito
a couple
expert.
podcasts ago. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I actually wanted to know, I just had this conversation with a friend of mine, and I've heard Forrest discuss this before.
Yeah.
I'm curious what Dave's opinion on
herpes.
If cum is vegan or not.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if he's
this was on our
comfortable
podcast.
talking about that, because his kids listen to the show, but still, I'd be interested.
Not
in
our
getting his
podcast.
take.
I don't know about that.
And I'm also a little shocked that people haven't been calling in with mer people jokes. Like what do mer people use to clean their fins? Tide. Anyway, great podcast, guys.
Edit that last part out.
Want to know when you're going to be coming up to Boston and do some comedy? Forrest, I saw you were in Philadelphia not so long
Boston.
ago.
I'm going back to Philly.
One or both you guys if you get up here to the East Coast.
Yeah, dude, I'll come to Boston anytime someone books me.
Yeah,
Boston's a weird region to get booked in.
Yeah, well, they have a club there at Laugh Boston that people go to, and then they have like Nick's Comedy Stop, which they made me an offer, but I don't think I can really. They weren't going to give me a room there. Boston has like this comedy scene, like some of the best.
It's insulated because they
in the world
use
have
local
come,
guys, and then New York's closed.
But some of the best comedians ever have come from Boston,
Yeah.
and so they have this. Some comics have never left. God damn, what's that fucking guy's name? Never left the Boston area. Stevie V, is that his name? Am I getting that right? And Stevie, he's a local Boston comic. He's been in a ton of movies, acting. He's in something now. He's fucking hysterical, but he just never leaves Boston. He's like, I just live here. I have a family. I just raised here, and they can. So they have like this whole like local kind of scene that like fills all those holes for all those shows and stuff too. But they have a couple clubs now and stuff too. But man, I'm not going to be near Boston anytime soon. Philly, July 9th, or Montreal, the 3 days before that. Come on, go across the border, go to another country. Montreal's a lovely city in July. Anyways, thanks for listening. All right, so is cum vegan?
If it comes from a vegan source,
Even though it's swimming around?
yeah, that's my professional opinion.
Yeah, vegan sort, yeah. I don't remember the answer to this. Remember, Luis? We had this on the podcast. I don't know about that.
I remember having the conversation, but
I don't remember what the answer was. I feel like it.
Like if it was a pig's cum, we say that's vegan.
I wonder what a pig's cum tastes
Easy,
like.
buddy. Look, we're not talking about bestiality on here, Luis. Gross. Come on.
He's like, asking for myself this morning.
It was a scientific, classy question, and then you went into animal.
I don't remember if it was. I'll get back to you.
I mean, I don't know. What makes something vegan? What's the definition of vegan?
That's not an animal product, but this is an animal product.
From a human.
Yeah. It's like if you're vegan, you don't eat dairy either because it comes from a cow. So,
Okay, but philosophically, or is the reason
philosophically?
Yeah. No. But I'm saying, does it make it vegan because you are trying not to put, you are scientifically don't want to put a animal product into your body?
The reason people are vegans is a myriad of things. It can sometimes be ethically, is what I think you're looking for.
Ethically.
Yeah. But it doesn't have to necessarily be that. Some people just like want to do it because a lot of it's
there's
ethically.
Nothing ethically. I mean, well, maybe depending on who you are, but ethically from a vegan standpoint,
somebody's force feeding you the cum. Yeah.
So then I'm right. If it's
no, it's an animal product though. It's like I think it is not vegan because like you can't drink milk from a cow.
We're mammals.
You're not supposed to have honey if you're a true vegan because it's a product from a bee. Even though
but a human being can give consent, so you are not ethically harming any animals by.
It doesn't have to be harming.
Consuming.
You don't know this. You don't know where the cum came from. And by the way, I'm pretty sure honey I don't know about that is bee cum. If I remember correctly, and that's not vegan. It's not a vegan. No, it's just what we call it.
Never gonna look at my.
All right, we got one more.
One more.
Cereal. You put honey on your cereal?
No, I couldn't think of anything else I put honey on.
Okay. Toast.
Ribs.
Oh, ribs.
Hey, Forrest, Dave.
What's up?
It's John Wynn.
Oh.
Somebody John Wynn.
Comic. I listened to your podcast about the movies, and I wanted to tell you there is a Hall of Fame for movies called the National Film Registry.
All right, hold on. Pause this for a second.
Every year,
This is our buddy John Wynn. He's a comedian, among other things. But we should have him on as a guest.
Yeah,
Like,
John Wynn, very
we're
close
glad you
friend.
called,
We've
John.
brought him up on the podcast. We said how svelte he's looking.
Yeah. And we did a podcast about movies not so long when the Oscars out.
The Oscars.
And you, okay, keep it going. This is what he's talking about then, yeah.
they take 25 movies from history and induct them into this registry.
This is your theory,
And
Dave.
like last year, they inducted like Iron Man, and one year they had like The Dark Knight and the movie Grease, which is weird. You think that'd be in there sooner, but I just want to let you know there is a Hall of Fame for movies, and I enjoyed listening to your episode, even though it filled me with rage. You guys were talking about Ke Huy Quan, very racist IMDb, whatever IMDb you're using.
Short round.
Anyway,
Yeah.
if you know anybody in Wichita and Tulsa, I'll be
He's
there in a
Asian.
couple
John
weeks.
Wynn's Asian. That's why.
Wait, he gave his plug at the
Asian
end.
comic. Thanks, guys.
When's he going to be there? Wichita and Tulsa? There he is. Let's give it a
Tulsa,
shot.
I'll be there in a couple weeks.
No, that doesn't
At
help
the
us,
Funny
John.
Asian comic. Thanks,
Yeah,
guys.
well, look it up. The Tulsa and Wichita.
Yeah. Funny Asian comic.
No, it's the what are those clubs there? The Tulsa and the
Looney Bins.
Looney Bins. Look up when he's there. He's very funny. He didn't give us a date, much like the guy that asked us to look him up in his Guinness Book of World
I'll
Records.
tell you.
But
So that's John Wynn. His Instagram handle is The Funny Asian Comic. His website is thefunnyasian.com. And he's going to be at the, he was just in Wichita this past weekend, the 29th to the 1st.
crushed it.
But he's going to be in Tulsa coming up April 5th to the 8th, the Looney Bin in Tulsa. Go see him.
When John Wynn is filled with rage, it's very funny, by the way.
Yeah.
Because John Wynn is a really nice guy, and he
lets it bubble up inside
usually
him.
happy-go-lucky guy and stuff, but occasionally the rage will bubble up. We did a thing at Sweat Records. Remember Sweat Records?
Yeah, I remember that place.
Daniel Reskin, his sister Lolo Reskin, owns it. Great independent record store in South Florida, Sweat Records.
Yeah.
And they used to do a comedy show. Was it once a month or every Tuesday? It was once a month, probably, right?
Probably changed
It was
over
on
the
Tuesdays.
years.
It was a fun show. They
was great.
They pack it in. And he started doing like different theme nights. He did like one with characters. I was a different character. Did you do that one?
I think I did.
Yeah, I was Lou Idaho was one of my characters. He was an aluminum siding salesman and a motivational speaker. And I had another guy named Sparky Wemo, who his whole thing was just selling merch. His whole act was just about selling merch. It turns out he was trying to save up money to get a gun to kill himself because his wife was cheating on him with a prop comic. But we also had like a American Idol style night where people went up there, and the judges were Lisa Carrello, myself, and John Vargas. And we each had a little hitch where like Lisa was like a Paula Abdul where she just loved everything no matter what, you know? And John Vargas was like I want to say he was like doing some sort of accent, and he was very above everybody's set, and it wasn't good. And then mine was, I thought your set was great. I especially like this joke, and it was always a joke from the person's set before. Maybe like that was the person.
The wrong person.
That was always, and we just kept doing it, and we were really annoying. And we also, I think John, by the time he got up there, he was on the show, John Wynn. He didn't want to be a part of this. Like, he was like, I just want to go do my jokes. I don't want to be a part of this fucking stunt shit you're doing. So I could tell he was getting a little angry already. Like, he was already a little bit angry. And we also had these little Nerf guns where we could shoot like a little Nerf dart or something out there first.
While they were on stage?
I think afterwards or something. And John Vargas shot him with a Nerf dart, and it was the first time I really saw John Wynn angry.
Why the fuck would you do that?
He was like, this fucking shit.
Yeah.
But we kept, that's only going to make you laugh more when you're a comedian. We're not going to be like, sorry, John. No.
No, that's totally what John does. He's just like the nicest dude, and he internalizes everything, and he just wants to help.
He's getting rage now from listening to this. He got rage from listening to us.
And then one
about
day
the
he
movies.
just snaps, and he's like, brings up everything.
But he's very funny. You should go see John. You should go see him there. He's going to be at the Moon Tower Festival this year. He's crushing it. We'll have him on one day. Talk about movies and Short Round, whatever his name was. I don't remember.
So he was upset that we were mispronouncing the name. Is that what he was saying?
I don't even think we said his name, did we? Didn't we call him Data and Short Round?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. But Hugh Wing?
He was teasing,
Wing?
though. He was just...
Yeah, he's fine.
Because he's
buddy.
Asian, and he was just saying we were talking about... He's
not
just
boiling
hashtag
over.
stop Asian hate.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, are we done?
Is that it?
Yep.
All right, we did
Way
it
overtime.
Way overtime.
all. Wait, well, there's a thing.
No, we don't have an overtime one.
That's right. No, yeah. Overtime.
I would call Mike Bimonte to make us one, but Luis wouldn't use it anyways.
I know. He's like, I've listened to the podcast. He listened to fucking use it one time.
2 minutes left. 2 minutos.
All right, everybody.
Well-
tomorrow I'm at the Throckmorton Theater in Mill Valley, just outside of San Francisco. Shoot on over there. John, blind guy from Sacramento, just, however you get around, get over there. If not, I'll be at Cobb's the same weekend. And then, if not, I'll get to Sacramento eventually. And then go forshot.net. There are a lot of shows on there.
Dupe. Thanks to everybody who came out to my shows this past weekend in Calgary.
great.
I appreciate you.
Sorry, he shit his pants. Sorry, Dave shit his pants.
Yeah, I did a bunch of new material, shit my pants. I got dates coming up soon in St. Louis, Louisville. I'm excited to be going back to Louisville. Indianapolis. Boise for the first time ever. Vegas, Grand Rapids, and we're going to be doing Mermen show in September in Florida. And I got a bunch of more dates that I'm adding. Check my website, davewilliamson.com, at Dave W Comedy on Instagram. And the Meet Dave podcast is back. Listen to the Meet Dave podcast if you like barbecue. So yeah, I'm going to talk about cluckers next episode.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad you got that in there.
For they are the mermen.